and a lot of them are recording, watching the recording.
Oh,
Are
awesome.
are we live and recording? All right. Good morning, everyone. Happy weekend. Thanks for joining us today. Um, we have an amazing speaker with us today, and I'm going to introduce her to you. Karla J. Aghedo is the founder and CEO of Wellness Workshops for Women, or 3W. Karla coaches professional women and curates wellness retreats, resources, experiences, and information for professional women who want to reclaim their power through wellness. Karla offers wellness coaching, retreats, workshops, networking events, and memberships to create a community to support mental, physical, and spiritual wellness of high achieving women. After a decade of practice in big law, Karla started H3W in August 2019 with the whole woman in view, mind, body, and spirit. Ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome Karla Aghedo. Karla, thank you for joining us. I know you're in the middle of your own retreat, so this is an amazing privilege for us. So we are so excited to hear about, your retreat in Bali. Maybe you can share something with us and then talk about our topic for today, which is redefining success.
I love it. Thank you so much. I'm so grateful for the opportunity to be here with you. The fact that you asked me to do this, the fact that
Of
we're
course.
well partners is just incredible. And I also want to acknowledge that you won an award with the International Association of Women for being a rock star because you
Um,
consistently put yourself out there and make great connections. And I just think that is so
Thank
powerful.
you, Carla. I appreciate that. It's where we met, International Association of Women, one of their virtual workshops during the pandemic. So it's been amazing, an amazing journey. And I also wrote that in a blog, and something coming up as well. So anyway, thank you.
Absolutely. So I'm super excited to be talking about redefining success. I'm not a big PowerPoint girl. I like to have conversations with
Yep,
people. Right?
me too.
Um,
I like that. The
yes.
everything, whatever works for you, right?
So, just as a little bit of background, my name is Karla Aghedo. I'm an attorney by trade. I've been practicing for 12 years. And one of the reasons why I am here is because with that attorney thing, I added being a wife. And I've been doing that for 10 years. And then we decided to add 3 children. And they are 8, 6, and 2. She will be 2 in a couple weeks. And with all of that we balance at work and at home, I call that the juggle struggle. I
Mm,
call that
I can relate to that. Yep.
yes, right. What you're trying to balance, a lot of responsibilities at the office, maybe high stakes, high stress job, along with being a wife and a mom, or being a daughter, being a sister, being an auntie, being a present neighbor, being a member of a church, being a member of a community, right? All of those different aspects of who we are oftentimes leads us to what I call that juggle struggle. We're trying to keep it all together, right? Um, so, by the way, is there a chat active while I'm presenting? Because
Yeah, I'll monitor the chat for us.
thank you so much. I want to make sure I'm not missing anything. Thank you. So, um, that's why I'm now the founder and CEO of Houston Wellness Workshops for Women. And we are over here curating wellness retreats, resources, recipes, and rescues for professional women who need to reclaim their power through wellness. And the reason I started this is because I hit my own wellness wall. I was hard charging, high flying, trying to do all the things, leaning in at work,
Mm,
to become a partner. I had kids in a private school, trying to do all their homework with them, all the presentation,
mhm.
all the projects, right?
I remember that during the pandemic, you were like the teacher, but you're paying the school, which is kind of for me.
Exactly. Exactly. Which is quite challenging.
It is. It
so,
was, yeah. But
and
you,
so Go ahead.
So well.
Thank you. And so I decided to start this business because when I hit that wellness wall and I finally started doing things that made sense to take care of me, one of the things I did was got a therapist. And she recommended that with the level of stress that I was juggling at work and at home, that I take a quarterly retreat. She said, you need a personal retreat every 2 months, okay? But make it no less than every 3 months. And I said, well, thank you so much for that prescription for quarterly retreats. I'm going to do that for me, and I'm going to do that for the lady coming behind me. So when I started my business,
That's amazing.
yeah, that was the vision. That was the goal. That's what I'm
Mm-hmm.
up to. And I added wellness coaching to that in this pandemic. And of course, virtual
Mm-hmm.
retreats, which have just been an amazing blessing. I'm hosting one this weekend. My group is enjoying a cooking demo right now that I pre-recorded. Right. And for me,
Nice.
this is all a part of redefining success, because a lot of people, admire, oh, you're a lawyer. Wow. Oh, you're at a top law firm. Amazing. You are so successful, right? But
Right.
oftentimes we're letting someone else define success for us. We're letting these
Mm-hmm.
external feedback be our marks of success. And many
Right.
times that puts us on a treadmill in the midst of a rat race, honestly,
Mm-hmm.
not really
Mm-hmm.
serving us and our values. So, Kelly, before I dive into these 7 points, is there anything that you wanted to share or follow-up questions? Because I don't want to be rambling if you've got something on your heart.
No, I agree with everything you said, right? So I see two definitions of success. One is by society, right? What we're used to. But as I am learning, in this wellness journey, is that most of those things, like the dream home, the nice car, a great career, those are mostly financial or material things. And we know better, right? In our well-being course, we know that that is just one aspect of our well-being, or that defines our success. So what are we missing? What do a lot of women actually missing out there? Maybe we can, I'm sure you can talk about that in your
Absolutely. So
inquiry.
I decided to create an acronym. Okay. As we
Okay.
redefine success, we're going to spell success.
Right.
Maybe we're respelling it.
Yeah.
Right. And so
Respelling. Like,
it's SUCCESS, right?
mm-hmm.
Success. What does that mean? Number one, just like you said, it's success on my terms. So you've got to
Mm-hmm.
tap into your values. What do you value? What do you honor? What is meaningful to you? Do
Right.
you value integrity? Do you value friendship? Do you value loyalty? Do you value family? Do you value honor? Do you value consistency? I actually lead women through a values exercise in my coaching program where there are plenty of wonderful, good things in this world that you could pick from for your values. But I need
Mm-hmm.
you to pick three.
Mm-hmm.
And that's hard, right?
Yeah.
But when we have to make choices, right? When we have to put some things on our plate and some things off, we've got to narrow it down to what is the most important thing. And I have found when I do this exercise that the values that keep coming up for me are fun,
Mm-hmm.
creativity, and vision.
Nice.
And I want every woman here to be able to define success on her own terms by tapping into her values. That's one of the things that was out of alignment for me when I was in that hard charging corporate career where I was
Mm-hmm.
not serving my values every day.
Right,
And
right.
so that's step one, the S, success on your own terms. Make sure that you've tapped into your values and that what you do and how you show up in the world is driven by those values. So, number two, you need to understand your why. What
Hmm.
are you showing up for every day? So, the U is understand your why. And that can be linked to values, right? Your why could
Right.
be your family. Your why
Mm-hmm.
mornings, morning conversations with your 23-month-old, right? Your
Right.
why can be being able to provide a comfortable space for your parents, right?
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I keep saying things related to family, but whatever that is, the you is that you understand your why. Okay?
I love this. I love
Yeah.
this.
This is how we redefine success. The
Mm-hmm.
C, the first C is count the cost. Is the sacrifice worth it? When you are
Hmm.
holding up a measuring stick to what you're doing every day that you call success, right? Is the sacrifice that you're making worth it? And that just kind of goes back to that values. It kind of goes back to the why, right? If I am
It all
sacrificing,
ties in.
yeah, exactly. If I'm sacrificing my health, my well being, if I'm gaining weight and losing hair, which is what I was doing,
Sleep, right? A lot of sleepless nights for
exactly.
you, I imagine.
Exactly. Right? Then is this really success? Have I
Mm-hmm.
counted the cost? Is this cost worth it? Is it worth it to pay
Mm-hmm.
in an ulcer? Right? Is it worth it to pay in a heart attack, God forbid? Right?
Mm.
Was it worth it?
Mm-mm. Mm-hmm.
So at the front, we want to count the cost. And definitely as we're making plans for 2023, we're thinking about who we want to be in the next year. This is a great time to sit down and reflect and count those costs. Okay.
Right.
The fourth point and the fourth C, curate the experience.
Mm.
Curate the experience wherever you are and whatever you're doing. Make sure it is consistent with your personal and
Mm-hmm.
professional development goals.
Mm-hmm.
Again, I was there at that firm. I was doing all the things they wanted me to do. I was people pleasing,
Oh yes.
right?
Yes, yes.
Yes, right. I was taking on assignments that I didn't really care that much about, that weren't motivating. But there were opportunities around me on that job
Mm-hmm.
that were consistent with my personal and professional goals that I
Mm-hmm.
wasn't making time for, that I didn't clear my plate enough for. So I want you to
Mm.
experience whatever success looks like for you. I want to make sure that you are setting it up to where it is helping your personal and professional goals, not just those of someone else. And that's where that intrinsic motivation comes in versus being consistently extrinsically motivated by what other people think or what other people say. Does that make sense?
Yes, definitely. Definitely. Yeah, so this is also another thing, set your boundaries and learn how to say no. Because like you said,
Yeah.
I can relate to that when I was corporate, that I wanted to be seen as I can do it all. I work on weekends and then I just collect all those points and then take a vacation once a year, but it's not sustainable, right? It's depleting my own, like energy and motivation to get to go to be my best and show my best every day.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Well, you make a good point, right? When you said I would work like that and then just take a vacation once a year, right? Um,
Mm-hmm.
Here we are advocating for these quarterly retreats, right? Which makes it more frequent and maybe a shorter amount of time. But also,
Mm-hmm.
one of my favorite partners who you had on, Dr. Kimberly Sims, during this series,
Yes.
she loves
Yes.
to say, define the life or create the life that you don't need to escape from.
Oh,
Oh,
yes.
yes. Create
If
the life
if
you don't
you
need
we
to.
can all remember that, I think that would be, that we will be living our best life every day. Like you have to escape from this, right? From the life that we're creating. So yes, thank you
Absolutely.
for repeating that and
Yeah.
reminding people. Yeah.
So that point underscores that point, curate the experience. All right. So we've
Yep.
got the first S, the U, the first C, and the second C. Success on my terms, understand your why, count the cost, and curate the experience. Okay. The
Mm-hmm.
fifth point, the E. Y'all have heard this one, I'm sure, over and over again during this series, but it has to be here in our definition of success, and that's exercise. That's it.
Oh yes.
Every
It's
day.
a key ingredient, right?
Yes. And I want to add this point about exercise every day, because I know
Mm-hmm.
so many of us have been taught, you know, um, some people say 2 to 3 times a week, some people say 3 to 5 times a week, right? Listen, I heard
Mm-hmm.
2 great TED Talks about the value of daily exercise. Okay, it
Mm-hmm.
is the consistency. It's the fact that your body
Mm.
doesn't have to make any decisions. What are we
Right.
doing today? We're exercising. Just like we're going to breathe today, just like we're going to eat
Yeah.
today, right? I know
Love this.
I do
Yes.
it every day, right?
You're hitting so many points in my, I share that there's something about this and coming up, and I am advocating for this because also, like you said, discipline, right? It comes with this, and that daily motivation, that daily exercise, trains our brain to do it, and it becomes a productive habit, and then you don't even have to think about it later on. It
Absolutely.
just automatically happens, and you reap all the
Exactly.
benefits.
Exactly. Exactly. Exercise. I want it to be in everyone's success plan and their definition says. And one of the things that's important is that if we unhitch exercise from aesthetic, from the way that we look, from, trying to be thin
Mm-hmm.
or trying to be perfect,
Mm,
body image issues. No, we're embracing
mm,
exercise because it's great for us mentally,
yes.
emotionally. It helps us reconnect spiritually. And one of the
Mm-hmm.
byproducts is the physical benefits, right? But remember the
Yes.
mental, emotional, and spiritual benefits of exercise as well. Yeah.
It's amazing, right? How it all connects. Like those chemicals being produced makes you feel happier.
Yep.
So
Absolutely.
that's why we're doing this. You want to be happier and healthier, right? And
Absolutely.
exercise for me, because I had this. If I can just share my insight
Yeah.
on this really quick. Before, I hate exercise. I don't exercise because I didn't find what I love doing. So,
Hmm.
as you know, in my story, I just found I'm yoga on and off, but in the last 2.5, I've been consistent with daily yoga and meditation. And
Hmm.
for me, that works. So I would encourage people out there to find something that works for them. It could be walking, right? It could be stretching. It could be going to the gym if that's your thing. But it doesn't have to be those sweat-inducing weightlifting kind of stuff. That is hard to do. It's very
Hmm.
challenging for some. But if you love that, that's amazing too, right? It
Hmm.
all has its own benefits.
Hmm. Yep. I love it. And you're doing a 30-day yoga challenge coming up. I saw
I
that.
am. Are you joining me? Yes. I
Girl,
do it every month anyway. So every month is going to be a 30-day yoga challenge. And I'm glad that people are resonating and they're texting me or messaging me, "Hey, I've done my yoga." That's what it's all about. Really,
I
doing
love it.
that daily practice.
I love it. Girl, I have to say, yoga is the hardest form of exercise I've ever done.
You told me that, Carla, and
Yeah,
I want to
yeah.
talk to you what do you call this? Offline. You can do this. You, you and I bet you will love it too.
Thank you. I'm going to do my very best. I'm going to learn
Yes.
from you and be inspired by you. What I will share
Thanks.
is that walking is my favorite form of exercise.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Um,
You're very consistent with that. I love it.
yes, and I know that my body can do it. And I want to
Yes.
encourage women who are listening now or watching the replay, do what you know your body can do, right? Do that,
Mm-hmm.
right? And let it bring you joy, right?
Mm-hmm. Oh,
Because
yes. Underline, underscore that. Do it with joy.
let it bring you joy. Because
Mm-hmm.
when you are trying to do something that doesn't make sense for you, or that you resent, or that
Mm-hmm.
makes you feel overwhelmed or tired,
Mm-hmm.
then you are probably going to try to avoid it.
Right. And I think it goes back to know your why too. We can relate to this. Why are you doing this exercise? Is it to please others or to feel good about yourself? I think the right motivation is key as well in doing daily exercise, whatever that is. Walking, gym, yoga, other forms of exercises.
Exactly. 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 So, anyway, um, E, the exercise
Next, E.
part
Yes.
of the success plan, of your definition of success. And that was a big shift for me. I just have to say, I haven't always been your wellness coach, but building in exercise as part of the definition of success has been a beautiful shift that's been meaningful to me. All right, so we've got the S, the U, the C, and the E. The sixth point is set boundaries. Okay, that second S is to set boundaries. You must have non negotiables in your personal and professional life.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. Set those
Mm-hmm.
boundaries, make them non negotiable. What is that going to be? Time with the family, dinner time,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
bedtime, no calls before this time, no calls after that time. What's it going to be?
Mm-hmm.
Right? No
Mm-hmm.
online. What's it going to be? I'm throwing out ideas, not
Right.
necessarily prescriptions, things that you have to do or must do, or that I think are the
Mm-hmm.
just defining those boundaries is so important, right? Set boundaries as a part of your vision for success.
Mm.
And finally, that last S, sleep. It's sleep. Part of the new definition of success is sleep. Getting at least 7 hours of sleep every night as a foundation of wellness. Okay? If you change nothing else, I need you to change this. Make sure you are getting sufficient sleep. And I want you to consider it a part of your success plan. In your definition of success, you get adequate sleep. And I think this is just an important point to make because so many times we glorify sleep deprivation. We glorify going hard and going long. We glorify how late we can stay up, how long we can work. And one of the first places that we rob in order to have more capacity is our sleep. And in actuality, we are limiting our capacity when we don't get enough sleep. Okay? So I want to make sure that sleep is a part of your definition of success. I hope that this has been a blessing for you. I hope that it has been inspiring to you. Um, when we redefine success, that we reclaim these pieces. In particular, when we're talking about things like exercise, sleep, boundaries, right? So many times, these people that you see out here doing all these things, like me once upon a time, we're doing it without boundaries, without sleep, without exercise, right? And we're not serving our values when we do it. So I really hope that this will be an inspiration to you um, and a recipe for you as you redefine your success. First of all, the S is for success on your terms. Tap into your values. Secondly, understand your why. What are you showing up for every day? Okay. Third, count the cost. Is the sacrifice worth it? Fourth, that second C is curate the experience. Whatever you are, wherever you are, and whatever you're doing, make sure it's consistent with your personal and professional development goals. Okay. Fifth, the E is for exercise every day, period. Number six, set boundaries. You must have non negotiables in your personal and professional life. And number seven, sleep. At least eight, at least 7 hours every night, because it's a foundation of wellness. And if you change nothing else, change that. Okay? I hope that was helpful to you. So grateful for this opportunity to talk about redefining success. And I want to know from you, how do you define success? What does it look like for you if you were to say, my life is successful now? What would that look like? I hope as we head into this new year, you'll take some time to write that down. Okay? What does success look like for me? And one of the exercises that I'm leading people through right now is writing your own story for the year. Okay? Writing your own story for the year. What is going to be your story of success for this year? You get a chance to do that. You get a chance to write that because you're defining it. So if you were to take time right now to write out, what does success look like for me in 2023? I'd love to know, because what we tell ourselves is what we are likely to make happen. Okay? Um, what we believe we absolutely can achieve. And so I want you to think about how you're going to write the story of success for your life in this year. All right? Thanks so much for having me, Kelly. This is amazing.
Thanks, Carla. I just want to let you know I got kicked out of my own teams. So if there two recordings, I'm just gonna put that together. I know we ended at asleep. That's the last thing that I heard before I got kicked
Yeah.
out. And I think it's explanatory, right? So I will also send a recap in the email just in case they didn't get the whole success acronym. But this has been amazing, Carla. I love how we are, very aligned with what we're doing, and you're inspiration and happy me.
Thank
Really, and I'm grateful for you.
I'm grateful for you. Thank you so, so much. And yes, I continued on with the presentation, and hopefully the people who catch the replay get all the blessings out of it.
You're a pro. You are a pro. I love it. I love you. Thank you, and have an amazing weekend. Good luck on your retreat, and happy holidays. I'll
Thank
see
you.
you soon.
All right. Take
Take
care.
care. Bye, everyone. Thank you
Bye.
for joining us today.